I mentioned the stuff about coping with all of your friends having been roboticized, and there was something when you're a kid you don't think about this, but now I'm all about like the hero's journey and storytelling and stuff. So I look for this stuff now, but the game seems weird to me because where are all of Sonic's peers? Like, where are all the other animals? Like in Sonic CD, there's Amy, and in 2 there's Tails, and 3 there's Knuckles, and from Adventure on there's like too many. But it seems weird that when you bust open all these robots, there's tiny little baby animals that come out, but none of them are like Sonic. And it also seemed weird to me that, like, in the Saturday morning TV show and in the Archie comics, whenever someone got roboticized, they were the same size and shape as their old selves. It's just now they were metal and had, like, claws and guns and bullshit.
I don't know. I guess it goes back to the band thing, because the band had a bunch of anthropomorphic animal people like Sonic in it. Like Vector, the crocodile that was in Chaotix.
Oh, is he that old?
Yeah, I can't remember if he was playing drums or keyboards, but he was in Sonic's band.
Rad.
So, yeah,
where's that game? I want that game. I just want Sonic and Vector and some other guys to be in a band.
That'd be a pretty neat game, actually.
I'd play it.
How about the special stages?
I love the special stages. They're so much fun. I like them better than the ones in Sonic 2.
I like the ones in Sonic 2 a lot, but they get really hard later.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say the ones in Sonic 1 are simple or anything, but...
No, they're pretty challenging. I think a lot of people are split on them. Some like them, some don't.
I've heard from a lot of people who tend to not really like them very much, but I like them. It's really hard to talk about them, because what the heck is going on in them? It's so weird. Like, where is Sonic? Why I mean, obviously the whole game takes place on a 2-dimensional plane, but it seems like the special stages would have to be in a tube or something. You know, where is he? What's up with the background? Why are there birds and fish?
He's in the Twilight Zone.
I could never figure out what half the stupid orbs do.
Yeah, playing through it again, I finally figured out what some of those did. Like those ones that say up, down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been playing this game since I was 5, and I never knew what they were until, like, last week. They speed up and slow down the rotation of the maze.
See, I didn't know what they did until you told me. I'd never been able to figure it out. Like, I don't know if I was actively trying. I'd figured out what reversed it, and that's really... And I knew goal, which is really deceitful. Goal. It's the first time you play the game, it's like, oh, that was easy. There's the goal. Oh, you lose. You suck. Oh, thanks a lot. That's probably someone was localizing it, someone was translating it, and it said something like finish or end, and they were like, oh, end. Okay, I'll just translate that as goal.
Nope.
Wrong.
Correct.
Yeah.
Goal. Not like Daytona USA when you win.
Yeah, which is the good one, the good goal.
You know, the special stages of this game are like that marble maze thing that, I guess it was a toy from a long time ago. You'd put this marble in a maze and you would tilt it around and try not to get the ball into a hole. I feel like it's a lot like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I never really thought about that.
I don't know if it was actually designed off of that idea or anything, but I had played with something like that when I was a kid, and I always thought that the special stage was really similar to that.
Seems like that could be the genesis of the idea.
Yeah, maybe. Like, maybe Yuji Naka played that game too and thought, oh, I ought to put Sonic-oo in the Marble Maze this. You know, when I finished this game again, I did all the special stages and I got all the Chaos Emeralds, and there were only 6.
Yeah, there's only 6.
And I forgot about that. I'm like, there's only 6 on this game? There's 7 after that in every other game.
Yep. You know, in every other game you can become Supersonic too. So maybe Robotnik and Sonic just didn't know about the 7th Emerald yet.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
At the end, when you get all the Chaos Emeralds. Unfortunately, we don't have the footage of it, but he runs through the same stretch in Green Hill Zone, and then he's like, what? And then the Chaos Emeralds float out of his hands, and they fly away, and a bunch of crazy flowers bloom and stuff. That's the end. And then Robotnik's mad, and he's jumping up and down, and it says...
Alternatively, if you didn't get them all, like in our footage, Robotnik chuckles, and he has them for some reason, because his fat ass made it through all the special stages somehow.
He probably flew through them.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He took his little hovercraft or whatever that is.
Well, now, I guess it's implied that Robotnik has the emeralds, and you're trying to get them back, so he placed them in these special stages? So are the special stages another construct of Robotnik's, sinister plan or something? I never thought about that, but... I mean, if he has them at the end, then he must have them during the game, I assume. He
made a portal to an alternate dimension, and he just threw them in there, and he's like, try to get them now, Sonic! And that's it.
Can we talk about how good of a villain Robotnik is for a second? I really like Robotnik.
But he's terrible. He always fails.
No, I mean, he's a villain in a platforming video game for kids. Of course, he's not exactly going to be super sinister or anything, but I really like him. It's strange because it's the one human against all the animals. It's like man against nature, but man's the bad guy.
Yeah.
He has the Scrap Brain Zone, which is like this huge city, and in the later games, they pronounce that even more. He always has these huge cities and floating sky fortresses and death eggs that can roboticize people from orbit. He's always building all these robots, and he's the bad guy, and then you're just an animal, and you're, I guess, breaking into his cities and busting up all his robots to defeat him. I mean, he is roboticizing animals. He's obviously a bad guy, but he just looks evil because instead of making him physically imposing, he's fat and has that huge mustache, which I just love.
Yeah.
I really like the physical design of him because he's kind of laughable, but it may just be because he's been a bad guy to me since I was a child. But he does look like a bad guy, but in a way that isn't like, oh no, it's more like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. I've always really liked Robotnik too. They call him Eggman now.
Eggman.
I don't like that, but...
No, we gotta live with it.
Yeah, apparently he was always called Eggman in Japan.
Yep.
Maybe there's a game theory here that Sonic is actually halting the progress of the world. Like,
that doesn't sound unfamiliar. I feel like people have proposed something like that before.
Like, Robotnik's just trying to industrialize and create progress, and Sonic's always ruining his inventions and his cities.
The animals are actually all very vulnerable out in nature, so Robotnik is giving them these robotic suits that enrich their lives and protect them, and Sonic's just busting them apart, coming after Robotnik.
It's a conservation effort. It's so that they can still be out in the wild, but not be contained in a cage or something. Robotnik's the good guy now.
This game doesn't exactly do tons to fill you in on the story besides, you can look at Robotnik, he's the bad guy, I'm a blue guy, he must be the good guy because I'm the good guy. I mean, why wouldn't I be? There's no other... Besides the small animals that you free, both from the roboticized robots and from the roboticizers at the end of certain levels. Or wait, no, that's not in this game. They don't introduce that until 2. But the small animals, besides that, there's no other good guys in this game. Everything you see wants to kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I've always kind of wondered, where is there? Like I said, where's Sonic Piers? Where's all the other people? Why is Robotnik the only human being? And I understand, it's not a freaking Elder Scrolls game. They don't need a bunch of NPCs. It's just a platformer. But I don't know. It's always been something I've kind of thought about. And this recent time when I played through it, I finally started thinking, why is Scrap Brain Zone 3 like a ruin? And it kind of seems like it's implied that Robotnik has built his city over this ruin at some point. And I wonder if maybe there wasn't a mass extinction of people and Robotnik's responsible for it, or maybe the animals had lived there and he came along and did something and then built his city there and started roboticizing everyone. And even you have to make it through Labyrinth Zone, a bunch of ruins. And at the end of Labyrinth Zone, this is something else I didn't realize until the end, you're in a labyrinth, right? And, you know, by definition, a labyrinth is, like, difficult to navigate, and Sonic would have a hard time finding the end of it. The levels themselves are even a little difficult to get through. Yeah. But at the end, you spot Robotnik, and you follow him out of the labyrinth. It's like he knows how to get through the labyrinth to his city, and then you see him, and you're like, get back here, fat ass, and you follow him up that long shaft, one of my least favorite parts of the game, in fact. I just suck at that part for some reason.
It's pretty tough.
But you follow him through it, and then you're in what comes next? It's Starlight Zone, right?
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of the city. It's like, oh, I'm in a city now. So you're in a city, and maybe people live there or lived there at some point. Starlight Zone's a little ambiguous, but it makes me think about, like, streets and lampposts and stuff like that. And then you get into Scrap Brain Zone, which is like the industrial, the pollutants kind of area, except for Scrap Brain Zone 3, where you find Robotnik, and then he's like, ha, I got you, sucker, and he blows the floor out, and now you're way down in these ruins, which are obviously underneath Scrap Brain Zone. So I have a lot of fun trying to imagine what all that means, but I don't think there's enough clues to put together everything I need. I wonder if there isn't something in the instruction booklet about this, because back then, instruction booklets would tell you the story to a game.
Yeah, usually.
I have the case for this game, but not the instruction booklet. I have no idea where it is or where it ever was.
Yeah, I lost mine too. It got destroyed a long time ago.
We're missing some of the pieces. Talking about coming out of Labyrinth Zone reminds me, this game, while fantastic, is improved upon by its sequels. I love Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles are some of my favorite games ever made, but this game has a couple of, like, there's parts where you can run into pits, even if you're invincible, pain in the neck, and they had a problem with not giving you rings when you needed rings sometimes.
That's true. That, and there would be this, I guess it's a glitch, I don't know what to call it, but sometimes when you're standing on some platform that's moving, or some part of the environment that's moving, and you jump, and you're running, he'll just jump into the air, not in a ball. And
I hate that. Yeah, that drives me crazy.
He'll be completely vulnerable too, so you could, like, get hit by anything.
That happens to me on the final boss all the time.
Yeah, well, at least there you don't have to dodge projectiles or anything until after he does his first attack.
Yeah, well, I hate to be a bummer on the game. It's just something else I had about it. The game's fantastic. I really like it. I'll always like it. I'll always love it. It's just a couple more things about it. I think it's interesting. It was the first Sonic game, but the people who were working on it had worked on other games, and they brought all their knowledge to this. They were creating a slightly different beast. They wanted it to be faster and stuff like that. And like we said, it's not even faster all the time. A lot of the game is very deliberate, and that's good too. That's still one of its perks. But there's a couple times where it's a little unforgiving. Like, there's a checkpoint, and then there's no rings to the boss, so you just fight the boss with no rings, stuff like that. They figured it out, though, that's for sure. Sonic Team knocked it out of the park for like a decade after this.
Pretty much, yeah. Except for lack of a real Sonic game on Saturn.
Saturn, yeah, that was a shame. We got Knights at least.
Yeah, we did. You got anything else?
I don't suppose so. Talked about how much we love the special stages and Cope. Started solving the mystery of Cope.
And we're gonna have to cope with being done with this topic.
Yeah, we might have to cope with being done with good old Sonic games. At least the 2D ones.
Yeah, I don't know. Sonic 4 wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't the same. I don't know, that's maybe for another talk. We'll probably talk about Sonic again in the future, but we're not locked to Sonic. Genesis and Sonic might be some of our favorite stuff, but we can talk about anything.
Yep. Well, we're going to sign off for now. This was the first installment of Relevant Stuff.
Relevant Stuff.
And you can subscribe or whatever, or comment. You can hate us. I don't care. Do whatever.
We'll take some creative yelling.
Yell at us in the comments. Thank you for watching and or listening, whatever.
Yes, thanks.